Peace, peace, peace. You already know it's the Khemist. Good to be back speaking to you all yet another time. I'm walking through this really cool park, so this should be fun. I wasn't really sure what I was going to speak about on this video, but after reflecting and kind of asking myself what the mission is, right? Like, I know, I've expressed the mission of EEaaS and all of that, but what the mission is for each of these videos, I was like, damn, well, maybe I should speak about the things that led me to feeling as though there was a need for EEaaS, the things that led me to realizing that I was inequitably exposing myself. And one of the biggest things that I noticed was I used to give of myself freely to people without the expectation of anything. I was inequitably exposing myself. I was doing things for people because I wanted to get better. I wanted to have friends. It was a collection of different things, and I don't think that we speak about this enough. Like, the need for validation is real. And I know a lot of it that I did was for validation. But at the same time, I wanted to improve my skills. I had learned a bunch of different skills throughout the years, right? I was really good at graphic design, really good at editing, copywriting, things like that. So I wanted to help, and I did. And I helped friends with their books. They would try to start out with something, and very ambitious individuals, but didn't really take the time that was needed to actually quality control the things that they were putting out. And I, as what I thought was a good friend, would be like, yo, bro, or yo, sis, I don't think that this is something you should put out. Let me help you with it. And I would. And they would take it, they would run with it, they would get great results. And some of them would recognize me. Many of them didn't. And I allowed it. None of them gave me any money from it, even though they made money off of it and they know who they are. But I allowed it. And then over the years, as I continued to allow it, they began to expect it. And so when I stepped back and was like, hold on, I don't owe you anything, then those relationships began to deteriorate, showing me that the only reason that I had been around, or a big part, I'm not going to say the only reason, but a big part of the reason that I had been around was to fulfill their needs. And I had put myself in that predicament. It's not their fault. It's my fault because I allowed it. So I had been inequitably exposing myself to things that weren't helping me and things that I couldn't necessarily leverage in the future, because these people, it's not like they got deals and contracts and opportunities and they came back and said, hey, Khemist, do you want to take a part of this opportunity for yourself? Do you want to be on this team? Do you want to lead this? And in fact, it was the other way around. When I would get opportunities, I would reach back out to them and bring them into what I was doing and make sure that they got paid, right? I was giving them equitable exposure while not even giving myself equitable exposure. And so, can you see my phone? That's really cool. You can see my phone and my glasses. Let me take this off because it'll be distracting. So I learned that really quickly. No, not really quickly. I learned that really intensively over a long period of time. And I got to a point where I was like, nah, this shit ain't cool no more. And now, so I look back, right? And I think about where we are now. And at least the economy here in the United States, where you have all these people who want jobs and all these jobs who want people, want employees, or 1099 contractors or what have you, and there's this disconnect that's happening between them. Number one, the people who want these jobs don't know how to express their value adequately enough for the company to see it. Number two, now when you were, As opposed to back in the day when you were competing with maybe a few hundred candidates. Now you're competing with thousands of candidates who are using the same AI tools to create the same types of resumes, to tell the same lies about what they've done. You're competing with thousands of them now for the same job. And what jobs are seeing is, yeah, I get these hits, these thousands of hits for, qualified candidates, and then I interview them and they ain't shit because they used AI. And now the ones who are actually qualified are being buried under all of the ones who got to the top of the list because, again, this AI shit is not intuitive. It doesn't know how to express what value is. It doesn't know how to say, okay, this individual is actually really great for what you're looking for, unless you train it to do that. But most of these companies don't have the resources to be able to train AI in the first place. And then if you're a candidate and you want a good job, right? You want to be able to know that this job that you're looking for is actually going to value you. And I say all that to say, now that we're in this state where we realize, oh shit, we've been putting ourselves out there without getting anything from it. Now we want to actually get things from it, and we cannot because we don't know how to connect with the people who can give us the resources. And the people who can give us the resources don't know how to connect with us because there are so many shammers out there and scammers out there that are acting like they're something that they're not, and they're wasting valuable time. And then there are also companies out there that want to train their AI, so they're putting out job requests and job openings just to interview somebody and then equitably expose them by asking them all these questions about what it is that they can do to fix their company, to improve their company. How can you come in and make us better? That person tells them, they record the entire conversation, right? It's usually virtual, so they record the entire conversation, and then they take that transcript of all the questions that they asked and all the answers that they got, and then they put that into their learner models. And then they build an agent to run their company for them, and now they just got a free consultation out of you and your 5, 10, 15 years of experience, expertise, professionalism. How fucked up is that when we talk about equitable exposure as a service? So this is the infinite loop that we're in right now. We got to break this cycle, especially as, again, the very fabric of how we do business in the, globally, but especially in the United States is changing, where people are realizing, hey, I'm not an employee, I'm a business man, right? I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. Big shout out to Jay-Z for that bar. Because now I have the ability to incorporate myself and protect my intellectual property and protect my name, image, and likeness and sell that to you instead of being your employee and essentially owned by you. And now these companies that are realizing this are having to restructure to be able to take on 1099 independent contractors, right? Because they realize that I can't keep running the same game with these people who are changing their mindsets. And so I just, like I said, I'm reflecting on this entire process. I may be speaking in loops. I don't know. Y'all tell me. But I'm reflecting on this entire process and how we got here to this point where we've given of ourselves over and over and over again. And now we're finally like, nah, yo, we're valued at way more than they trying to tell us we are. And so you're going to have to give us something for what it is that we're going to bring to the table that is valuable. And so if that ain't a message that tells you you're divine and it's your time, and that's not just something that I say that rhymes, I don't know what is. You got all the power in the world to tell these people who want to continue to make money off of your ideas, your thoughts, your feelings, your habits, right? Data analytics and all that. Watching your spending habits, your behaviors and all of that so that they can make money. Now you have the power to say, hey, you don't get that from me unless you give me what I deserve, because I'm making you billions, if not trillions, from what I do. So what can you do for me? And that's what I mean. So I'm the Khemist. Welcome aboard. I hope that gave you something, gave you a jewel or a feather to put in your hat. We're going to keep doing this every single time. I don't know how often I'm going to post right now, but every single time we're going to keep doing this, and I appreciate you. Peace.